Hello, my name is Craig Barclay and I'm a supporter of the Royal Humane Society. It's my pleasure to share a story of outstanding humanity from 1806, which the Royal Humane Society recognised. To set the wider context, this was the year in which the funeral of Admiral Nelson was held at St Paul's Cathedral, and an ambitious young man named William Colgate established a soap and candle business in Manhattan. This particular story appeals to me because of the starring role played in it by Tsar Alexander I of Russia, upon whom the Society bestowed its gold medal. Alexander's medal is today to be found in the collection of the State Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. So, let's begin. At the anniversary festival of the Royal Humane Society, held on 15th April 1806, R.H. Martin Esquire read out a letter that had recently been received by Dr. William Hawes, the Society's co-founder and treasurer. London, March 24th, 1806. Dear Sir, I have now the renewed pleasure to inform you that His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Alexander, in one of his journeys through Poland, by his own humane perseverance and personal exertion, restored to life a peasant of that country, who had been drowned a considerable time. This very interesting occurrence came to my knowledge during my late stay at St. Petersburg, and took place between Kona and Vilna, on the banks of the little river Vilna, from whence the just mentioned town derives its name. The Emperor, from some cause or other immaterial to the present interesting subject, had considerably preceded his attendants, and perceiving several persons assembled near the edge of the water, out of which they appeared to be dragging something, instantly alighted, and, on approaching the spot, found it to be the body of a man, apparently lifeless. Prompted by humanity alone, and without any other assistance than that of the ignorant boors around him, to whom he was not otherwise known other than that his uniform indicated an officer of rank, he had him conveyed to and laid on the side of the bank, and immediately proceeded with his own hands to assist in taking off the wet clothes from the apparent corpse, and to rub his temples, wrists, etc., which His Imperial Majesty continued for a considerable time, using every other means, though destitute of every medical assistance, that appeared at the moment most likely to restore animation, but all without effect. In the midst of this beneficent occupation, the Emperor was joined by the gentlemen of his suite, among whom were Prince Volkonsky and Colonel Lewin, two Russian noblemen, and Dr. Wiley, His Majesty's head surgeon, an English gentleman whose professional abilities are so well known, at least on the continent, that they need no comment, who always travels with and indeed never quits His Majesty at any time. Their exertions were immediately added to those of the Emperor, and on the doctors attempting to bleed the patient, His Majesty held and rubbed his arm and gave every other assistance in his power. However, that and all other means they could devise proved equally ineffectual. So much so that after about 3 hours of fruitless attempts to recover him, the doctor declared, to the extreme chagrin of the Emperor, who had by this time become very anxious about it, to be of the opinion that life was quite gone, and that it was useless proceeding any further. Fatigued as he was with such continued exertion, the Emperor could not, however, rest satisfied without entreating Dr. Wiley to persevere, and to make a fresh attempt to bleed him. The doctor, although he had not the slightest hope of being more successful in this than in former ones, proceeded, nevertheless, to obey the positive injunctions of His Imperial Majesty. When the whole of them, the noblemen, etc., were making a last effort at rubbing, etc., the Emperor had at length the inexplicable satisfaction of seeing the blood make its appearance, accompanied by a slight groan. The emotions of His Imperial Majesty on this occasion, the doctor informed me, are not to be described, and in the plenitude of his joy he exclaimed in French, "Good God, this is the brightest day of my life," and the tears which instantaneously sprang into his eyes indicated that these words came from the heart. It is useless to say, my dear sir, that their exertions were, as you may suppose, redoubled and finally crowned with complete success. But I must not forget to add that on Dr. Wiley looking for something to stop the blood with and tie up his arm, the emperor, without any hesitation, instantly took out his handkerchief, tore it into pieces, and with his own hands bound the poor fellow's arm, and remained with him till he saw him quite recovered and conveyed to a place where proper care could be taken of him, besides ordering a considerable present of money, and having since otherwise provided for him and his family. Requesting you excuse the hasty, imperfect way in which I have endeavoured to narrate this very affecting translation, to which I feel myself totally incompetent to do adequate justice. Allow me to assure you, sir, of the sentiments of respect and esteem with which I beg leave to subscribe myself, my dear sir. Yours most faithfully, James Grange. Thank you for listening. This is one of thousands of cases. The Society is encouraging people to become one of their governors. For just £100 in 2024, you will be invited to attend a variety of Society events, such as their annual General Court, where you will see awardees receive their medals and hear their amazing stories. You'll also get a 250th anniversary certificate and an invitation to special celebrations at St. Paul's Cathedral in September. If you'd like to find out more about the Society and their work, do visit their website and support them however you can in this, their 250th year. Thank you.